This conference will now be recorded.
Within the organization structure, what are the important tasks we are having here?
Manage the business unit, manage the
Mm-hmm.
business unit, assign the business unit to the business functions.
Mm-hmm.
We
Good.
can see the BU functions.
Mm-hmm.
We can't create the supplier invoices here, sir.
Supplier invoices.
We can't create here.
Sorry,
We can't create the supplier invoices.
why are you talking about supplier invoices here,
Yesterday,
Mahesh?
Anna.
ఇక్కడ సప్లైర్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఎలా వచ్చింది ఇక్కడికి?
అంటే మీరు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేశారమ్మా.
Maybe he's referring to the function,
ఫంక్షన్
the
ఏరియా.
business function.
It's a part of the business. I mean, it's a business function, right?
అన్న.
If you enable it, then you can able to create supplier invoice within the payables. Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే అన్న. ఓకే అన్న.
Okay. Okay. Let's jump on to workforce structures. This is important for us, very important for us. You have to remember the, one second. Manage departments here, and then organization trees, and then manage jobs. These are all very important tasks for us. Coming to the department trees, we are not going to create department trees. Even sometimes, even we don't create departments as well. For example, all the departments creation will be taken care by HCM team. Okay, and if any of the department organizations are not part of the departments that are created by HCM team, then yes, we have to create departments as well. Okay, but if all the organizations are part of those departments which are created by HCM team, we won't create any departments. Before coming here, so in our e-business suite, we used to create, organizations, and again we classify them, and then we assign them to the organization trees. Right, guys?
ఓకే అన్న.
Do we have organization tree in e-business suite?
అన్న.
Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we are not going to create organizations directly. Remember, we cannot create organizations directly. This is the basic, 200% question actually. They'll ask you, how can you define organizations in Fusion? Right? So whatever the interview you attend, this will be your basic, interview question on this. So unlike in e-business suite, we cannot directly create organizations here, right? So let me take this here. So in order to create organizations and to classify them, first we have to create departments. That's what I have shown here. We have to create departments, not organizations. Okay. So sometimes these departments, they will be completely created by HCM team. And if some of the organizations are not covered in this, then we have to create that. So once departments are created, then we will classify them as project owning organization and project expenditure organizations, right? And even before this, I mean, there is no, dependency here. At whatever stage you can able to create organization tree, and then you have to create tree version, then you have to make it active, right? So these are all the steps that we will follow in order to create, organizations and add them into the organization tree, right? So we'll see now. Let's go to the departments. I just want to show you. So this is your we treat the department as the organization in a business. So my organization is like something Hyderabad org, okay, and status is active. So nothing much important here except the department set. Again, these sets are not for us as of here. Let's go to the next. Okay. So again, within this GL cost center information is where, important for us. Sometimes if if business want to derive their cost center chart, segment values, or company segment values from the department. So in that case, they have to specify the segment values here against this particular department or organization. So let me put what is the company value set. Let me pick AG company, and what is the value we're assigning to this department. So this department belongs to so and so company. Okay, and again for cost center, what is the value set? Um, Let me pick this, and then my cost center segment value is 100. Okay, so this information will be useful while deriving accounting information, right, within the SLA. If we can directly pull it, the company segment value from against a department, whatever the department we have created, and you can also pull the cost center segment value from the department. If they don't mention anything here, most of the times they won't mention anything here. So in that case, we cannot derive the company and cost center segment values from the department. So in that case, we'll use other alternatives like fetching the company segment from legal entity and fetching the cost center value from again the expenditure organization, right? Based upon that expenditure organization, we used to have some lookup sets, and then we'll get the appropriate value, right? But I'm just showing this for your reference, because sometimes even they maintain company segment values, not most of the times not company, but the cost center, right? So they will ask you, bring the cost center value from the respective department or the organization. So in this case, we don't use any mapping sets or lookup sets. Directly we can get it from the department, and I'll show you how to do that while working with SLA configurations.
People live in Luxon. 11 జాయిన్ అనుకుందాం దీంట్లో దీంట్లో ప్రీవియస్ బ్యాచ్ ఎవరు జాయిన్ అయినారు మీరా మహేష్ శ్రీకుల అర్జున్ నరేష్ నరేష్ హలో
అన్నా అన్నా
ఈ గ్రూప్ లోంచి అసలు నేను డిలీట్ చేస్తున్నాను రామ్ ప్రసాద్ సాహిత్య ప్రసాద్ అవసరం లేదు గ్రూప్ లోంచి నేను డిలీట్ చేస్తాను ఓకే ఇన్విటేషన్ కూడా ఎవరికి ఓకే డిలీట్ చేస్తున్నాను.
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే అన్న, ఓకే అన్న, ఇది.
Okay, guys. Right, so this is very important for you when they ask you to fetch the segment value or the cost center segment value directly from the department. Then this is the placeholder where they capture the cost center details, right? So, and then nothing is here, we can directly submit it.
Sir,
But
to create
remember,
the department also, do we need to take any approval, sir? In real time?
remember most of the 95 to 99% we don't create departments.
Okay.
Usually HCM team will take care of this.
Which team, sir?
HCM,
Okay.
like HRMS,
Okay.
right? HRMS team, they will take care of loading or creating all the departments. And sometimes they will miss creating departments which are related to the projects, like project owning organizations and project expenditure organization. So in that case, we will reach out to them and then we'll ask them to include what are the departments that we need or that will be used for projects as well, right?
Sir, in real time, do we have capabilities, sir? Functional team, we have
Sorry.
capability. Our role has a capability to create departments, sir, in real time.
That is what I'm saying. HRMS team will take care of creating departments.
Okay.
We don't create departments.
Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, they are creating 99 departments. Okay. And we are having total 10 organizations which are related to projects. Out of 10, 9 are covered in this 99 batch. Okay. But one department or one organization is missing in this department's loading. So in that case, if that is not part of their HCM, then we can also create, department and we can use that in our projects. If not, we can inform to the, HRMS team so that they can also include that in that, in their list. So it's depending upon, sometimes they will create the missing departments, not all the things, because everything will be done by again HRMS team. In case if anything not part of their HRMS organizations but only related to our projects, in that case if they are very few, one or two like that, then even we can also create them. That's not a problem. And department creation is very pretty much straightforward. Okay, so once you create the department, then we will create an organization tree and we'll create the tree version and then we'll add all the respective departments into that list. Then we'll make the organization tree as active. So that is what I have mentioned here. So we are done with this creating departments and then we have to classify the department as project owning organization and project expenditure organization, right? So this is very important with respect to your interviews, right? So we don't create organizations directly. We'll take the departments and then we'll classify the departments as project owning organizations and project expenditure organizations. Remember, and currently we are in this step. You can follow either fifth step first or sixth step first. There is no dependency here. Okay, so let's complete the sixth step first. So in order to create the organization tree, we have to go to the manage organization trees. And again, if you see here, this is a shared functional area. right? So this is also used by HRMS team or HCM team. Okay, so go to the organization trees. So here we have to create a tree, right? So let me create one tree. Okay, so here I'm just giving the name and the code, and then click next. Nothing is here. Again, click next, and then click on submit. So while creating the organization tree, we're just specifying the name. After creating the organization tree, then we have to create tree version, right? So where is our organization? Here. Highlight it and click on this page icon and click on create tree version. Okay, so even here create organization tree, and let me make it more detailed. Create organization tree. Under this we have to create tree version. This is important because in the tree we don't have anything. We have everything under tree version actually. So I'll give a version name as v1. The start date of this is 1 by 1 by 19. So click on next. Fine. So now under specify nodes, we have to include or add our departments. So before directly adding departments, first we should understand their structure, like how they want to maintain the organization tree, like what is the structure, right? What is a node? What is a parent node? That is very important, right? So my parent node can be sometimes legal entity, and then under legal entity I will maintain business units. Under each business unit I will add departments, right? This will be the case sometimes. Okay, and rest of the cases like we'll be having directly business unit, and then under business unit we will try to add the departments, right? So it depends upon how they want to maintain this tree structure, whether they want to start their parent node from the legal entity or from the business unit. So it's up to them. Based upon the requirement, we'll try to maintain the structure within the tree version. Okay, so let's go and add legal entity. So first we'll come up with the legal entity. So click on search and then select your classification as your legal entity, so that you can only see all the legal entities here. So my legal entity is, okay, let me go with AG Motors. So this is my legal entity. Once you select this, then click on add tree node. Okay. Once you add legal entities, what is my next structure or the thing which I have to add under legal entity? That is business unit. So again, highlight this node and then click on add node, and again click on the search. Here I'll select business unit and then click on search. My business unit is Bank BU, and then click on add tree node. Now if you expand the parent node, you can see the business unit under here. And again, under business unit, we have to add departments, right? So again, instead of selecting the parent node here, I will select business unit node and then again click on add nodes, search. So this time I'll select department as my classification name so that it will list down all the departments. Even you can able to select multiple values here. So if you want to do that, hold the control button, this one, this one, this one, then this. So these are all the departments I want to add into this business unit. So once you select them, again click on tree, add tree node. And again, I want to add one more business unit under this legal entity. So again, click on the parent node because under this I'm going to add business unit, right? So again, click on add tree node, click on search, then select the business unit as your classification name, then click on search. I'll add AG projects here as my business unit. And again, under business unit, you want to add department. So highlight the business unit and click on the add nodes and search. And then again, I want to add departments, search. Okay. So here also I want to add this department, this department. That's it. Add tree node. Oh, I have already added them into the bank view business unit. Let me pick different departments. So I'll go with CISO, CIS, add tree node. Done. So now if you see the structure, legal entity, under that business unit, under that departments, right? So this is what I have mentioned here. This is my structure. So once you have finished or done with adding all the nodes into your tree version, then click on submit. So our tree version is successfully created now. Once the tree version is created, let's check the status of the tree version. What is the status of the tree version here, guys?
Draft Anna. Draft.
Right. So here the status is very important actually. One second. Okay. So once you create the tree version, the tree version will be with the status of draft here, right? So this is the initial status of the tree version. So if you want to make a note on the organization tree statuses. This is very important for you. Okay. Now from draft, we have to make it to active, right? So in order to do that, we have some procedures actually. So initially, it will be in draft status, right? From draft status, first we have to do row flattening, and then you have to do column flattening, and then you have to do audit, and then you have to make it active, right? So from draft to active, there are other activities included in this process. So you have to do column flattening activity, row flattening activity, column flattening activity, and then you have to do audit, and then only you can make the tree version active. Directly you cannot make trees version, to active status from direct draft. That's not possible. So let's try even whether we can do that or not. Let's go to the set state actions, set status active. Let's see whether it will allow us or not. So again, it is asking auditing, right? So we cannot do that. So let's highlight the version. First, we'll finish the flattening. So under flattening, do the column flattening, and then click on online flattening here. Click OK, and then done. Again, go to the actions, flatten, row flattening. Again, click on online flattening here. So our flattening is done.
What is flattening?
The purpose of flattening is like as the tree contains, you know, parent nodes, child nodes, again leaf nodes, right? So first it will try to arrange them in the back end, uh, accordingly. So in order to, arrange them as per the structure, we will use flattening concept actually. But beyond this, what happens, we don't know. But that is, I mean, the basic purpose of flattening here. Okay.
Okay.
So we are done with the flattening. Then you have to audit the tree version. So again, in the audit, it will check whether is everything or perfect within the nodes. So it will validate it. If we have any issues within our tree structures, then you will get errors within the confirmation section itself. You can see what are the errors, and again we'll go to the tree version and we'll try to correct them, and then we'll come back and again we'll complete the audition. So I have successfully audited it. Then we can go to the active. So now I can directly make it to the active. Done. Now my tree version status is inactive. Remember, organization tree don't have any status. Organization tree version will have statuses. Remember, okay? Because most of the times people do mistake here. They'll say that they have to set the status to the tree, but we are not doing that. We are setting the status to the tree version, and you can create multiple versions as well, but at a time only one tree version will be active, and the remaining will we have to end them. So you can see the ended here, right? So if you want to create one more, I mean a new version, tree version, then you have to indent this, and then you have to create a new tree version, and you can maintain that as in your active tree version. Okay, so this is how we will create tree version, and then we will set the status to active. This is very very important. You will definitely uh, think about me when you attend fusion interviews, because they will definitely ask you about this, how we create ordinations and how we create ordination trees, right? And how we classify them. These are basic interview questions. Okay, next. Because till 4 or 5 or 6 years of experience, we will mainly focus on how good are you in configurations, right? Because most of the time we won't go with the scenario based. Maybe if we go with scenarios, very less scenarios, but most of the time we will focus on your configuration skills. Like, are you aware about all the configurations? How to do that? What are they? Right? So you mainly focus on that along with your flows. Okay, so we are done with the workflow structure. So within the workflow structure, you have to remember manage department and then manage organization trees. That's it. Okay. Now let's move to the project organizations function area. This is also very important for us.
Now
So
one
if
doubt.
you, yes, Abhilash.
Now in business unit, why can't you define the same departments? If the departments or segments are different.
I'm not understanding. Can you ask again?
In business unit, we can't assign the same departments to other business unit.
Yes, I mean within the organization tree, you cannot refer the same department twice within that organization tree. Again, you can, if you want the case, you can. I mean, we have to create one more organization tree.
Is this department means it is a segment or anything? You know?
No, that's an organization. Where are you? Are you
Department.
following?
No, no, I came in middle.
Okay, then you have to refer the recording again. See,
Okay.
we refer the department as organization in Fusion. And unlike in e-business, we cannot create organizations directly. First, HCM team will create the departments and then we will use those departments and we'll classify them as our project expenditure organizations and project owning organizations. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Fine, let's go to the project organizations now. And in this, we have many tasks need to be, I mean, which are need to be memorized. The first one is project unit options, project organization classifications, and configure project token business functions, submit process to maintain organizations. These are all important. And we'll see one by one, don't worry. Um, okay, now we'll focus on our sequential here. So we have created organization tree and then even we have created the tree version. Now we'll go to the fifth step. Classify the department as project owning organizations and project expenditure organizations. So in order to do that, under project organizations, you have to go to the task manage project organization classifications and then you can pick the effective date and my classification here is department, then click search. So these are all the departments, right? Then even you can also, select multiple departments at a time. If you use Control A, then all the departments will get selected at a time, right? If not, you can go one by one. If you are having very less count, if you're having many, select all. Then click on the pencil icon, which is edit button. Some of these are already might be defined or classified. Let's see. So once you come here, we'll just review what are the departments we have selected and then we'll click on continue. And the second section is classifying the organizations. Now we will select project and task owning organization and again project expenditure organization. Again, it depends upon the requirement because sometimes some of the organizations or some of the departments are only eligible for creating the projects and some of the departments are only eligible for capturing the cost, right? So in that case, first we'll select the departments which are eligible for creating a project. Then we will classify them as project owning organizations and we will select what are the types of projects that we can create, under that particular departments. So in that case, we will enable them and then we'll go forward. And again, we'll follow the same case for the project expenditure organizations. We'll select them and then we'll classify them as project expenditure organizations. And then you can click on save and continue. So this part is important. You have to remember. I think you are very familiar with this, options, because these options are same as of in e-business suite. So some of the departments already, are already classified. So we'll do one thing. Let me pick only one. Mm, let go by all the classifications. Okay, come back. Select the effective date. Search. So if you see here, this department is already classified as expenditure organization, task owning organization. So let's see if we are having any departments which are not classified yet. Okay, let's pick this one. Okay, so I'm going to, why there are two, CEO office. Let's pick this and click on pencil icon, click continue, classify the organization as both project owning and project expenditure organizations, and then click on save and continue. And we have one more placeholder to add the departments into organization tree. So let's assume you have already created the organization tree and the version, but you didn't add any nodes there, right? And even sometimes, even when you are adding a new node or new department, like when you're classifying a new department as project owning organizations, and that needs to be added to the existing tree or like organization tree. So in that case, you can make use of this. You can directly pick your tree, which is, our tree is test, and the version is v1. And what's the parent organization? Because we are having multiple layers, right? Legal entity, business unit, and then departments. So maybe I want to add that under this business unit. If you don't want to, pick it from here, then you can skip this step. You can directly click on save and continue, and then you can go to the tree version, and then you can add this particular department into the tree, right? So we can do either ways. That's not a problem, right? So once we classify the departments as project owning organizations and project expenditure organizations, and then we have to run this job. This job is important, submit process to maintain project organizations. So remember guys, whenever you add any new department and classify them, and also whenever you modify or update the existing organization tree version, then you have to run this job. Otherwise, whatever the changes you do, that won't get reflected. Remember, right? So even they'll ask you in interview, this is like very frequent question. So what is the job you run at the end, like after performing all the activities like departments and then classifying them and then creating organization tree and version. So what is the job you will run after all these steps, right? Then you have to say process to maintain project organizations, and you can also see the same job within the project organizations function area. Let me show you that. This is the one. Submit process to maintain project organizations, right? So if you are updating your organization tree, or if you are adding any new node into the tree, right? So in that case, you have to submit this process, which is very important. Okay. Now, I'll miss one thing into the organization trees, which is very important again. So assume that you have tree and version which is in active status. Now, as I said just now, you are asked to add a new organization or department into this tree, right? So in that case, how you do that? So again, you'll come to the version, and remember, whenever you try to open the version, it will set the status to draft. So if you click, even though you are having this update tree nodes while keeping the tree version as active, this will help you if you want to just review the existing nodes in the tree version. But if you want to add any new things, even while checking this checkbox, again the status will set back to the draft. Remember, right? So without even checking this box, if you just try to open the tree version, the status will set back to the draft. So again, you have to do, you know, audit and then uh,
That
it to active status. But if you try to add any new nodes, then again you have to do column flattening, row flattening, and then audit, and finally you have to set it to the active, right? So in this case, assume that we have something, I mean, added a new department here, and then click on submit. Again, if you observe the status, that will be set back to the draft. Okay, so because this is also very important, they will ask you like when you are updating or when you open the tree version, what is the status of the tree version, right? So if you open the tree version, that's it, the status will set back to the draft. Again, you have to set it to active manually, right? Okay, next we'll go back to our project owning, or I mean project organizations. So I think even we have done this step as well. So set the organization tree status from draft to active by doing row flattening, column flattening, audit, and then active, right? Which we have done successfully. Next, before going to this step, even I have one more step here. Create project units. This is a new concept because can anyone explain the structure, the enterprise structure in e-business suite? Ganesh? Is Ganesh there? I'm not hearing anything from Ganesh since many days.
I'm sitting far off TV, Anna.
Oh, okay. Ganesh, what is the enterprise structure in e-business suite?
Anna, I worked on that particular paste, but I'm not getting it now, Anna.
Hmm.
I worked on that particular paste, and but I'm not getting, Anna. Right now.
Okay. Mm, any others?
Business group, culture, legal, operating unit, inventory.
Mhm. Operating unit next.
business group,
Inventory,
legal.
inventory, sub-inventory, stock location.
Hmm. Stockholders. I mean stock locators.
Locator, and then item.
Hmm. Right. So this is the enterprise structure what we know. When it comes to the fusion, so we know like operating unit is replaced by business unit, and above this business unit the structure is same, there is no change, and after business unit we are having project unit, under project unit we are having organizations. Under organizations, again, you can say, I mean, sub inventory or directly items, because we don't bother about much on inventory side. Even you can pick up this. But here the important thing is a new layer come into the picture in between the organizations and then business units, right? That is project unit. So what is project unit here? That is very important to know. For example, if the company or the organization is having multiple uh, line of businesses, right? For example, if they are in service sector and they are in manufacturing sector, and they're also having some kind of maybe support, right? So IT support, we'll take this as IT support. So when they're having multiple line of businesses within the organization, and in that case, if they want to capture their project numbering style, you know, differently for each line of business, and also the way of summarizing the commitments is different from each line of business. So in that case, we will create as many project units we want as per the line of businesses existing in that particular company. If they don't have any line of businesses, like they are very pretty much straightforward and open, and maybe if they are having only one project, I mean line of business, then we'll just have that particular uh, project unit, like maybe US project unit. That's we'll just create a generic project unit. But if they are having multiple line of businesses and they want to capture or create projects you know differently for each the line of business, especially for the project numbering, and also the summarization of commitments, right? And also they will also use this project unit to map to the particular, I mean not to the organizations, you can skip that, but as a time being, you just take a note on these two areas. The first thing is we'll create the project units based upon the line of businesses existing in that organization or the company. That's the first point. And the second point is we will make use of this project unit in order to have project numbering uniqueness across project units. I mean, for every project unit or the line of business, if they want to maintain their own sequence of, or they want their own style of creating projects, project numbering, right? So in that case, we will make use of the project unit. And also if they are differ in summarizing the commitments in each line of business. So in that
దేవేంద్ర
case
అన్న,
also,
హలో అన్న,
yes,
ఒక
Mani.
2 minutes ఆపడన్న, రమేష్ నేను చెప్పన్నాడు.
Okay.
లేదా
చెప్పండి అన్న.
ఇవాళ క్లోజ్ చేసావా కొద్దిగా వేరే ఇంటర్వ్యూ చెప్తాను, డిస్టర్బెన్స్
ఓకేనా, షూర్. ఓకేనా, అయిపోయింది, అయిపోయింది, క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాను.
క్లోజ్ చేసి
ఓకేనా, రైట్. Okay, guys, we'll see about project unit tomorrow, and we'll end up the session here. Okay.